entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book. And
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
He's proud of it. Hello and good morning. We've made it to Friday.
We did. We made it this far.
This has been a first full week in January, and it's been difficult.
It's been long. It's been quite long.
I said January is a free trial month. I will start my 2025 in February.
You know, I was just like, is it me? It's hot in here, right?
It's a lot.
2025 is it's starting off like, it's kind of starting off like your first week in school. When you first start going to school, especially high school, you get all dressed up. You're so excited for this new year, for this new
Right?
thing, and you get there, and then someone trips you, and just like, what the?
Yep. Nope. It's still the same old place. Here we are.
It's just like middle school, but taller.
You are, by the way, we have got Tamora in the studio with us today. Back behind the scenes, which you can't see, is Lovey, her producer for My Brain Parts. I got so excited yesterday, like more than normal, like just kind of like fell out of my husband's like, why are you so excited? I was like, did you know she was working with Michael Shipman? Did you know that this is going to have music? And then I watched the behind the scenes. So I've got to commend Lovey on capturing
Amazing.
the stuff that you don't get to see behind the scenes because you got me hooked. I was like, okay, I immediately grabbed my phone, grabbed my calendar because it's not real to me unless it's in my calendar. When I say, yeah, I'll be there, wait for me to put it into my calendar or it's not happening.
We are the same person. If it's not in there, it's not going to happen.
Well, because you and I are both very busy, not physically, but also in our brain. Like there's a lot that happens up there.
Oh my God. There's like 6 conversations right now. And I'm just like, I'm trying to pay attention, guys.
Beep, 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 beep. So welcome into our brain. Tamora is coming to My Brain studio today. And Friday, I'm so glad that you booked a Friday because I feel like, okay, whatever happens, we're just going to have a good time.
You have the best time,
Right?
Just roll through. Whatever happens, happens.
Thank you very much for continuing on with the lip sync battle. First off, and having me as a judge once again. So fun.
Thank you so much for coming. We're still going to do that, even not as CTP, but myself. I just like lip sync contests.
So maybe talk about kind of the ending of that situation a little bit, because that's where you and I met each other when you were working on that part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And E for All,
and
all of our connections together, but maybe like closing a chapter on something because a lot of people hold on to things when it's not working, schedule's not working, life isn't working, and you decided that this is going to close for now,
and that's okay. I try not to hold on to things that aren't working for me. So CTP was a great thing, and I regret nothing. But the more I did it, the more I realized that I want to be an artist more than I want to be a business owner. So that's what I did. And I wrote this show, Poetry from My Brain Parts, because by creating CTP, I learned so much more about myself and myself as an artist. I don't want to be behind the desk.
Yeah.
I really don't. I want to be on stage.
Yeah.
And I had to go through that to know that about myself. And now I do.
Well, it's a process of evolution, right? Here I am finding myself behind a desk again. And I'm liking the rhythm of it a little bit. It's kind of something that I was missed. It was taken from me, I guess, in 2020 in the pandemic. And I've kind of created.
Yes.
Right? I know, right? It's fine.
But
but it has forced me to grow way bigger than I ever thought I would, mentally, emotionally, physically, and be in such a better space.
Right.
I was having this conversation, a spiritual awakening, if you will. Like I was very much dead, even though I was a very lively human. Like there was not like any thought. It was you got up, you did this thing, and then you went home and you lived your life. And I really was not awake.
Giving you happiness. Right?
Not at all. No. And it took being taken away from me to realize the parts of it that I liked.
Yeah.
And that's what E for All taught me. That's what being around amazing creative humans taught me. And that's what throwing myself at my community because I didn't know what to do. And just putting out my hands and saying, all right, I like all of these things. These are the things that I like.
Right.
How do I make that
a thing?
My station. Not necessarily, I hate saying jobs, you know what I mean? Because I feel like we're all called I've been called to service for things, projects, people,
Yeah.
activities,
Stuff.
But I don't necessarily call it work. If you called it work for me, I am in bed with my laptop till midnight. I will wake up in the middle of the night and just start randomly working. It's the thing that I do. I enjoy it.
Yes, it's the thing that makes you wake up. Like, I don't mind waking up at midnight to write a poem. Like, I
Right?
need it.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get that thing
Yeah.
out, you know?
It's like, I got the fuel for this now. Let's do it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So there's not a certain schedule for that. And when people ask me all the time, like, how do you find time for that? Aren't you exhausted? And I'm like, I'm not. It's what fuels me to continue to do things. And I feel like you are kismet, same human.
We are, see, ESPN. Yeah, we have ESPN, meaning we share the same brain. That's science.
I love it. Good morning, Eva, Marty, Denise, Junior, Michael Shipman. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Good morning, everybody.
Jen Christian. Good morning, my favorite people.
Good morning, Jen. Jen Christian is amazing.
She really is.
She really is. I love her so much.
Also wears as many hats and is as crazy upstairs as we all are.
I don't understand how many hats she wears.
But I love that all of our personalities get along together, regardless of what human we decide to be that day.
Right. So true, bro. So true. Like, who am I today? I don't know. We're going to rock with it.
So I see you behind the scenes working with Michael Shipman on this, what you were telling me in, I think, October. When we first started talking, you're like, I'm doing this show. It's a one-woman show. It's a this, it's a that. And then the evolution of My Brain Parts. Talk about it a little, will you?
Absolutely. I would love to. Poetry for My Brain Parts is, well, one, the title came from my lovey. She came up with the title. We were looking for a title. Like, what the heck do we call the show? She's like, what about Poetry for My Brain Parts? And I was like, that is so Tamora. She's like, I know. Yeah.
Well, so, because you're now engaged. Congratulations.
Yeah. Sometimes I do this to make sure it doesn't fall off.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love that. It's really nice and refreshing to meet a human that compliments you so well and that makes you grow bigger. You know what I mean? When you've got that partner that you can just be like, hey, what about this? And then they're like, well, what about this? And things, you grow together.
Right?
It's huge.
Yeah.
So I love that Lovey had a hand in making this happen for you and
did.
growing the show.
Oh, absolutely. She's been the producer, the director. We rehearse every night, pretty much. I would say like every night we rehearse. And the way that I rehearse is I work better to walk back and forth. Like I pace and that helps me memorize. So I'll be walking back and forth in the house and she'll like, I hear something, let's try it like this. And we just collaborate well together.
Yeah.
And I trust her. She trusts me. So as an artist, that just opens all the roads for creativity.
Yeah.
Just
for sure. Because you're supported.
Yeah.
You can't explain that to somebody that has not ever felt that or had it. But when you've got some crazy idea and you've got another human like, okay, well,
we can get a dump truck. Yeah.
I legit, like I am thankful so much for my husband who just any bad idea I have, he's like, okay, let's flesh it out. Let's whatever.
That's my lovey.
And I'm like, thank you so much because it's so supportive. Yes. Sometimes it fails, but most of the time it grows with something very, very cool at the other end.
And just down with it. Like,
yeah.
All right, let's try it.
Yeah. So you started this thing. Yep. How did you get connected to the conspiracy of noise?
Ooh. So after I wrote the show, I knew I wanted to add music and I was looking for a piano. And the more I looked for a piano, I was thinking, what about guitar? What would that sound like? Lovey and I was having that conversation. And I'd worked with piano before, but never guitar. I was like, what the heck not? And I was like, who do I know play? I wonder if he's free. I was like, hey, Michael. I was like, they work all the time. You know? I was like, let me just ask anyway. And he was like, yeah, sure. I was like, I just asked,
it's really incredible.
Ask, always ask. Even if you think it's a no, always ask.
Well, we got connected. The funky professor said, hey, what about this for a musical artist for the farmer's market? And I was like, all right, we connected. And then like the price wasn't right. And then I'm like, I'm thinking of a couple of other things. We'll roll it around. I'll find a space for you.
Yeah.
And then I finally found a date and I was like, look, this is who I want at this date. And they crushed it. They were amazing. And then I've seen them out and about before, but I've never got to really experience the conspiracy of noise. And so enjoyable.
So good. So good. Oh
Yeah.
my God. And Michael can play anything. It is insane.
Well, and elegy too, like any genre, any sort of different tune. If you get a chance to see them, I know they've got a gig coming up fairly soon. Michael, if you want to drop it in the chat where people can support you and come see you, I definitely think I mean, this time of year where it's dead, it's cold, it's miserable, we're all grumpy, everybody's in bed early, everybody's on their dry January kick. Just go listen to some music, feed your soul.
It'll be good on the inside. You'll love it.
I know it's really hard to explain to sometimes when you get in those ruts where you just want to curl up and do nothing, that the best thing for you is to do something.
Get out of the house, come to the show. And
change your space.
Listen to some music. LG's voice is just insane. Like it has like this beautiful rumble to it.
Yeah, right. It does.
It just feels good. I grew up in a Black Baptist church. So like her voice just fills my soul. Like, yeah. It's
a familiar comfort.
Absolutely. Like, well, that feels almost a cool.
This is a warm cup of chicken soup. Thank you. Good morning, Miss Laurel. My eyelashes are doing great. By the way, I had a moment. I don't mean to derail our fabulous story about poetry for my brain parts, but I went to the eye doctor yesterday. Some of the things that we have to do as humans when we have to take care of ourselves. And
no, ma'am.
The person that takes care of me is my husband, and he makes me all of these appointments. I don't do it. He makes me go. He's like, I've made you this appointment. You're going. It's here. Here's the address.
And no.
Like, damn it.
Oh, no. Did they do like they put anything in your eye?
Oh, yeah. The whole thing. So recommendation. He loved my eyelashes. He said that you did a very good job, Sarah Armstrong. He was like, wow, these look really good. My eyes are healthy. Everything's fine. My eyes actually grew stronger.
That's great.
And my prescription is less. I'm like, okay, thank you.
All right. Going backwards. I like that.
Right.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. I think I lost a little bit of weight. So I think that my cholesterol went down, my sugars went down, and everything is better. My eyes grew stronger. But he made a comment. He's like, oh, so how long have you been doing the lashes? I was like, is it bad? How bad is it? And he's like, no, yours are fine. Let her know she did a really good job. Look at that under this magnification. I was like, oh, okay. She did a really good job. So how are my lashes, Laurel? They're doing great. Well, think about that. This is also this partner situation where I definitely would never take care of myself. I probably would just like curl up into a corner and just like, this is where I die. Oops. But no, I have this human that takes care of me.
Lovey keeps us alive, which is wonderful. She definitely.
One of us gotta.
she turns off the oven at night sometimes after I cook because
seriously,
I just forget, or she was like, so I have a thing. Like if I'm working and eating, I'm going to work more than I eat. It just happens.
Right.
So she's like, why don't you take a little bite? And I'm like, I'll take a bite. And then like half an hour later, she's like, you didn't.
Right.
Now it's cold. And I'm just like,
I meant to. I thought about it.
I
was planning on it.
I thought about it. So she's like, what if we just ate and then worked? And I was like, all right, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how it goes.
Come on in, Miss Penelope. You can come on in.
Hi, Miss Penelope. How you doing? Your hair is beautiful. You look cool.
No, we're just doing a morning show. You're fine. We've got a yellow chair for you, miss. Yeah, so we were just talking to Tamora about her poetry from her brain parts. We're talking about taking care of yourself and finding a spouse that actually makes you take care of yourself. Yes. It's good to have a good partner in crime.
All the time. It is so wonderful. Like yesterday I was eating a bagel, which I love. I do love bagels, and we're working. And
but the cream cheese is not for you.
Okay, listen. I don't think I have all of...
Not to be hanging out to dirty laundry, miss. However,
I feel like I'm not all the way lactose. You know what I mean? I'm lact.
You sound like my son. Then he's like, Mom, I could have a chocolate milk. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's not. Fine. It's not.
What if I'm not lactose? What if I'm just like lack? You know what I mean? I'm not toast. I'm just lack.
Miss, you are not allowed to have these items. These are why we have spouses, to take care of ourselves. They're like, not for you. My husband has actually slapped food out of my mouth that was too old from the refrigerator. I was like, what? I was hungry.
All the time. She's like, don't eat that. I was like, it's fine. I do it all the time.
So this is that energy maybe you needed to finish this show, though, is what I'm saying. Yes. Someone to guide you to get there.
Let's get this
because when we creatives are left to our own devices, sometimes things don't get finished and we have a lot of side tracks before we get to the legend. It happens. Having a guide, having a human that can bring you around to the finish line is really a nice space to be in sometimes.
Right? And like those nights where you don't want to rehearse, like, listen, I know you don't want to rehearse, but let's go.
Yeah.
We got a show. Come on,
Yeah.
to just have that push. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
So you connected with the Conspiracy of Noise.
We did.
Michael Shipman says they've got a show at Hog Island tonight from 6 until 9. And he said, we're so honored to work with Tamora.
Oh my gosh. We're honored to work with Conspiracy of Noise. They are fantastic. And thank you very much.
All right. So fleshing out this show, talk to me about how it started and where you're at, because you are 1 month away from opening.
Yes.
February 8th and 9th, by the way. Put it in your calendar right now so that you know. Where is it going to be?
It's going to be Cape Cod Community College Studio Theater.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sarafina, Kelly, Sarah, hey, T and Steph, good morning to you all. Thanks for joining us on the show today. So start to finish, how has it evolved?
All right. So Poetry from My Brain Parts is a show that describes my journey as a poet. So I've been writing poetry since I was 12 years old, which is a really long time. I'm 41 now. So this show, I chose 11 poems, starting with a poem called Poetry Came to My House, which describes how I started writing poetry, where it all started. And we start there, we go through my poetry journey, then we end with my most recent poem, Space to Unravel. So I talk about like my journey as a poet, my journey as a more healed person, and my journey as just trying to be a good human being in the world.
Okay.
And just trying to spread love and light, some cool poetry. There's some beautiful music between myself and Michael Shipman. And there's this really cool part that I think people will enjoy. So Michael and Elegy wrote, I wrote a poem, and then Conspiracy of Noise turned that poem into a song.
How does that feel? Has that ever happened to you before?
No. So in the show, I'm going to do the poem, and then Conspiracy of Noise is going to play the song. So you get to see the process of writing a poem and then how that poem turns into a song. And then Michael Shipman will talk about that in the show, and you get to see the process of that. So that's in the show as well. There's so much to see. Alana Khan, who is an artist from Rhode Island, will be part of doing an installation in the show, or the opening of the show.
Seriously?
Show. Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. So Alana Khan is an artist out of Rhode Island. She's you can find her on. You can Google her. She's not on the social media. She's not like us. She's free.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for every artist has their thing, has their medium, has their comfortability. Miss Penelope over here in the studio audience, she's a TikToker. And like, I'm terrified of TikTok.
What?
I'm terrified of it. I'm there. I have a presence, but I'm not comfortable with it. But she also wants to learn more about podcasting. So it's one of those things I was like, okay, we're going to try and trade some services, but also have a conversation on why do we feel this way? Like, what is it about these mediums that we are afraid of a little bit? I would be afraid to have an installation going on while I was trying to do a show, because I would want to watch the installation and I would not be able to focus. So good for you.
Thank you. The installation is just the beginning of the show. So when you walk in, the studio theater's downstairs at Tilden Arts. So when you walk in like the top, and then the installation is an artist constitution.
Okay.
It goes from the top. You've been in
Tilden? Yeah.
It goes from the top there and all the way down.
I don't know what anything's called though. You're the artist that knows what things are called.
Oh no.
I was like, what's that? It's cool.
Thingy is my favorite word.
Yeah.
It's thingy.
Yeah.
It's a thingy.
I'm like Ariel and the Little Mermaid. I'll just make up my own words for things. It's fine.
Yo, Ariel and the Mermaid that's a deep dive.
Right? Thank you.
That. Oh, I didn't even plan that.
So you've got this installation going on by this amazing artist out of Rhode Island. And
she opens the show kind of, and she will help you guide you down to our show. So it's kind of like an experience.
I love that immersive culture. It's nice. It's not something you see here in the States for whatever reason. It's not something you see on Cape Cod. It's stuff that you see. We went to Europe this summer with the kids, and we went Austria, Germany, some of these old, but I mean, this Mozart immersive experience that we got to walk through. And it was actually in the place where he was born. So it was just like a really very cool artsy thing that it was like a light show. And then we were in this like moving art thing. It was just a really neat experience.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you're bringing something like that for people to just sit and take it in. It's an experience.
Yes, come and enjoy. You don't have to do nothing. Like, come enjoy and
You don't
just
have
be
to do
yourself.
nothing.
You don't have to do nothing. Okay, you gotta walk in. We'll guide you to the place. Okay, you ain't even gotta know where to go, bro. All you gotta do is sit down, have a good time.
Hysterical. Holly,
Okay.
good morning. Sandy, thanks for joining us, everyone. We've got Tamora Israel in the show with us. Poetry for my brain parts. She has been working on this now for a long time. This is a long time in the making. As you said, you've been a poet since you were 14 years old.
12 years
12
old.
years old.
Yeah. It's been a while. I've been writing for a while. There's been a lot of bad poetry. I still have poetry from when I was 15 years old.
We have been working out of Mashpee TV for a little bit. We're going to be moving our studios in there more permanently. I know. I'm really excited. We had a great meeting with Chris Ball yesterday, but they did a year-end wrap for 2024. And I saw you had a little part in it from Amity Race Day.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I wish I could hear her, because it was kind of like a montage of the year and you couldn't hear anything. It was just kind of music. And I was like, oh, I wish I want to go back in there and listen to your poetry that you pick. You always pick stuff that is for event purposes, or you just I just love in which you just really come alive when you start speaking. Your words are so eloquent. I don't know how you string them together or what you do, but it's a moment when you watch her perform.
Thank you. I feel most like myself when I'm on stage. I am so comfortable on stage. I don't understand how it happens. Like, I just walk on stage and it just happens.
Yeah.
It just fills me up. It just feels so good. I feel like I'm standing where I should be.
Speaking of which, talk to me about this Kendrick Lamar obsession of yours right now.
So I love Kendrick Lamar. I'm obsessed with Kendrick Lamar. Okay.
Speaking of words and power and movement, and she was like, I love myself a good rap battle.
Oh my gosh. So I know we all remember the Kendrick and Drake rap battle from 2024, right? Okay, so I was all here for the rap battle. I love rap battles when nobody dies.
Right.
Or gets
She's
shot.
like, I love hip hop beef when no one dies. Yes, please.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. This is so great. So in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was team Drake. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, some of his songs don't look at me like that. Some of his songs are good. Okay, you know you liked it. You was in the car bumping it. Don't play. Okay. So in the beginning, I was like Team Drake, but then when Kendrick put out Euphoria, I was like, oh my god, did he just call you a horrible father? Oh my god, he is. Did he just talk about you as a person?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, like the attack was just so smart, for a rap battle.
Yeah,
and not often in rap battles do we hear like the beauty of the beginning of Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is this madness? Who starts off a rap battle smiling?
Because when you've got the knowledge, you're empowered, right? Destiny, thanks for joining us. Kai says, T's energy vibrates the stage.
What's up, Kai? Oh, man, Kai's awesome.
But speaking of vibrating the stage, I had this moment where I met Kendrick Lamar. It was 2015.
Tell me about it.
And we were in Osheaga, and I have never felt so small in my entire life. My daughter was the one who brought Kendrick to my forefront, and she's like, Mom, it's incredible. And so driving to Canada, listening to that whole album that King Kunta is on, and I'm just like, oh my god, all right, I'm here for this. I'm so excited for this moment. And I had no word. It was a moment in which Stephanie had zero words. Nothing came out of my mouth. There were no words. I got a photo and I left and I was like, who the hell was I? Who is she? And I had nothing. I literally said nothing to this man. He probably thought I was special. He's there she is.
There she is.
We so glad that we got to spend a moment. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like a make-a-wish. I didn't even know what it was. It was horrible. That moment where you were not your best self and you had nothing to say.
Oh,
so ruined. Mm-hmm. But it has been one of like my run tracks, my moments. I shout out to rest in peace Mayflower Brewing. They're closing this month, and I did a 5K with them, and that was one of the tracks that I was listening to.
You ran a 5K?
Oh my god, I was in the military. Don't let the skin sleeve fool you. I used to move it often, now less. But I was running to this track and I'm singing Kendrick Lamar lyrics as I'm running. And it was not, I should not have been saying half of these words. And there was something, life ain't but a fat, and I'm screaming it out loud. And I look over to my right, and it is my like 6th grade teacher who's beside me. I was like, "Hello, Mrs. Blackwell."
If you have listened to Pimp a Butterfly, you know what she talk about. And she should be proud.
I'm so sorry. I was just really into this moment. It was a hot moment. I was in it. I was belting out these meaningful lyrics about vaginas out loud.
And you're welcome.
You got an education, Mrs. Blackwell. Thank you.
And you know what? She should be thankful because sharing is caring.
So you've built a class on Kendrick Lamar.
Yes. On how, not just Kendrick Lamar, how he has changed hip hop and how hip hop has changed our world, our culture. American culture has been so incredibly influenced by hip hop. Hip hop is only 50 years old.
Yeah.
It's only 50 years old. It is the leading culture here in America. And not only is it the leading culture, but he has had such an amazing influence on it that not only are we talking about him, we're talking about how he has changed this thing that is a leading thing in our culture.
Yeah.
Like he's so powerful. He has learned how to use his words in such a way that not only can he get out of wherever he was, which was, if you know Kendrick's story, you know, he had a really, really horrible childhood, you know, in LA, but to go from there to where he is and not stop. Like there's so many times he could have just said, I don't want to do this album.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many times, like sometimes as an artist, you know, sometimes you just want to put stuff out, like to stay relevant, to, you know, to do that. He didn't do that.
Right.
He put out work that he believed in.
Right.
And like,
which is artist, really hard when you feel like you're not, I'm not producing, I'm not doing anything. No one knows me. I'm just sinking away into the background. This must be what it feels like to be a person like that. And he's not.
There's a couple years between To Pimp a Butterfly and Damn.
Yeah.
But how great was Damn?
Yeah.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. So I respect him so much as an artist.
So you're going to be doing that over at the Cordial.
Yes, the Cordial is
which
awesome.
I'm excited to go check out. They've been doing some really amazing things, connecting with artists, giving artists a place to go.
Yes.
They did some night markets. They had some of our other friends, artists, painters. Zig was doing drums over there.
Zig is awesome.
I love Zig. He's just absolutely amazing. Such a kind human. Mashpee graduate.
And
love
tall.
our kids. Yeah, right?
Oh my God.
But so intelligent, and the music that he puts out is just absolutely incredible.
For his age.
For any age. I wish I could make music like that and have even like put thoughts and lyrics to beats the way he does is so intelligent that I'm just like, oh, you're okay.
Right. His thought process is just different. He is a very thoughtful young person.
Yeah. Pretty incredible. So Cordial fosters artists, and definitely go and support it.
Absolutely. Please, please come support us. There's a thing that the Cordial just finished, the creative features, and that is where we help artists who want to be artists, you know, and teaching artists who want to teach artists. And there are 2 different tracks, you know, track for artists, track for teaching artists. And in this program, what you can do is we give you space to like learn how to be an artist. You know, you get a not an office, but like a studio space.
Yeah, that's okay. Please.
You get studio space, you get a stipend, and you get to work with local established artists, you know. And
what, a stipend?
There's a stipend. There's a stipend for this program.
Yeah.
It just finished, but it will come again next year. The people who signed up for this program are still waiting to hear. I think they hear tomorrow or the day after who got in. So things like that. That's just a bit the tipping point of what the Cordial does. I love it. I'm on the board of the Cordial, and I think it's, as an artist, I just appreciate having a place to be my true artist self. They don't care what you look like. They don't care what art you make.
And also taking away the barrier to entry. I recently said to my husband, I need a hobby. I would love to do some pottery stuff. Then the cost of it, it's the cost of being an artist is so prohibitive to letting people just be their creative self. So I love that the Cordial will grab some supplies or support you, give you a stipend, give you a studio, take those barriers away from your creativity, which is just a huge space to offer someone to make something.
Yeah. And we just moved from 255 Main Street to 438. 436.
They moved down the road.
We moved down the road. We're in the old space museum, and there's so much more space, and there's so much more room for classes and projects and stuff like that. So come on down to the Cordial and check out our website, cordiali.org.
Jameson says tea.
Hey, what's up, though?
Cindy G, thanks for joining us. Tamora Israel is here. Poetry from My Brain Parts is coming to the stage next month. Are you super nervous to put all of these parts together and then roll it out for human consumption?
Right? No, I'm not nervous right now. I usually get nervous before, like 2 days before the show.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just so in it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to share it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my third one-woman show, but this is the first one-woman show to this magnitude.
Yep.
And something that I wrote from the beginning to end with such a clear purpose of wanting to help and show growth in my art. So I'm really excited about this project.
I'm thrilled. Where do people get tickets? Find out more information.
Great question. You can get tickets from check out my Facebook and my Instagram. Tickets are on my Instagram and my link. T is real 83 is my handle at T is real 83 or on the Facebook, and you can purchase tickets. I call it the Facebook. I want people to know how old I am.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I pay taxes. So also you can grab tickets from the Cape Cod Community College's website.
Good morning, Jamie. I am so excited for this show.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much.
I am thrilled. I felt super old since you're like, I'm old, I pay taxes. That Daddy Mac from Crisscross is 46 years old today.
Stop playing with me.
I was like, what? What? How did that happen?
The Mac Daddy? The Make You Jump? That guy? That guy?
Daddy Mac is 46 years old today. And I was like, I feel very old.
They're old.
Also, today is Houseplant Appreciation Day. I'm having people show photos of their houseplants. I'm very excited. My daughter gave me an orchid for my birthday, and it's been a whole, 2-3 weeks since my birthday, and it's still alive. So I was like, bless be, you are still here, girl. I haven't done my deed with you yet.
But first time.
My God, I'm a murderer. I'm a plant. If you're giving me a plant, it's going to die. It's just one of those things.
We have so much in common, my guy.
I really work so hard on it. I think that's why I run a farmer's market. I was like, I have such fascination and also appreciation for humans that grow things.
I can't do it.
I'm like, how do you do it?
It's like alchemy. Like,
how do you keep it alive?
I keep killing mine.
I am a plant murderer. Cindy says, I have a houseplant named George. He's lived somehow.
It's adorable.
Yeah, it's your husband. He's made the plant live. So people have been sharing their houseplant photos. I was like, okay, this is where we're at right now in my adult life.
Houseplant?
I'm asking people to share their plant photos.
I get it. Yesterday, like you finish something, you get like a high from it.
Yeah, right?
I cleaned my vacuum. I got the biggest high yesterday from my vacuum.
What is those small things that you're doing right now that just bring you such joy that you're like, I am old? This is the excitement I have for it today. That clean smell of a bathroom brings me such joy. Little things like that. Cleaning the vacuum.
It brought me, I was just like, fix that thing.
Right? Yeah. Next. Yeah. Who's next? What?
Tackle the world now.
What are we doing right now? I'm going to clean out that coffee filter. Whew, I'm on a roll.
See that thing on the carpet? No, you don't.
Listen, it's January once again. This is just a starter month for the year. I might give it back. I haven't decided yet.
Try this out. See how it goes.
I've been super overwhelmed. Is anybody else overwhelmed?
Yes.
I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to begin the year, to do I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do it all right now. We got our super planners and all of our stickers and our markers and our new calendar that we want to fill up with crap.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And I feel like the weight of it right now.
Yeah. The weight of like all the things that have to be done that you said that you will do.
Yeah. Correct. And I feel like I'm putting undue pressure on myself, and I'm just curious if anybody's got some strategies, some coping mechanisms, some things that I should. Stephanie, no, just slap it out of my mouth like my husband does my foot. No,
I stopped doing. I didn't do a resolution this year. I usually do one every year, and I didn't do one this year.
Okay.
Did you do one this year?
No, for me, I started last year with incremental changes. I'm like, okay, I read Atomic Habits-ish, and when I say ish, I almost finished a book, guys. I was really proud of myself. I have a hard time finishing things.
See, I feel the same way. I have to read books. I mean, I have to listen to books. I have such a hard time reading a book.
And that's what it was. I was like, I will listen to 10 books this year. So like I made some small goals, but no resolutions. Like I'm not getting rid of anything. I'm not good. I'm same year. I mean, new year, same me. It's just, I know me. It's taken me half of my I probably won't live much longer, but I mean, like half of the space of my day. I have less years ahead of me than I have behind me, I think. And well, who knows? We have no idea what the technology is bringing now. My dad just gets a new body part every year, and I'm like, you're gonna live forever there, bionic man.
Wouldn't that be cool if you're like 105?
Just replacing things. This is no longer good for me. That's why I call it the skin sleeve.
That did take me for a second.
Right?
Skin sleeve.
Yeah. What's up, John? Thanks for joining us. Sarah, reading the subtle art of not giving a bleep. Okay. Tanya says, I love the love being put on here today. So much powerful positivity, inspiring females, friendship in my community for sure. Hey, Dawn from the West Coast. Please check in. Penelope normally lives in California. Dawn is, I know, are you still on fire right now? What is going on?
Yeah.
It looks terrible. Yesterday we had checked in. It was like 1.5 million people without power. They were bulldozing cars out of the way. Dawn was showing just random things on fire.
It looks apocalyptic.
It does look super scary, especially with the Hollywood Hills in the background. And it's like, it just looks like a scene in a movie that is not real. And it very much is real for a lot of people there right now. She said it's still all on fire.
Isn't that how we started 2024 with Canada being on fire?
Yeah.
Isn't that? Huh.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, I mean, I think literally that's wild. So bad.
No, I'm here for it. Boom.
So I think I have one of those sound effects over here somewhere. I'm just not gonna mess with it right now. I think it's just that nature of the winds or whatever it is that time of year where it just gets super windy. We all dealt with it. I didn't get a chance to even see you when it was our windy farmers market. Thank you very much for coming and doing.
Yes, it was so fun.
The goat cracker.
We were I'm a goater now. So that's my name now. I like to be referred to as the goater. I held the goat. I walked around with the goat. My goat's name was Goat because I don't remember my goat's name.
All of Tanya's goats, she rescues goats. They're all male goats, but most of the male goats have female names, which I love. And one's Betty White, and Betty White is my favorite goat just because of his name.
Right? Wait, didn't I have Betty White?
You had Ruth
Bader Ginsburg.
Oh,
yes.
I like Ruth.
No, Ruth was mad headstrong. Like he had the right name because like a couple times, like there was like a whole thing we supposed to do.
They're busy.
And he's like, we're supposed to be over here. Ruth.
Yeah, right.
And Ruth was like, no, we're gonna be over here.
Yeah, they're like a very strong 3-year-old.
They're so much stronger than they look.
They just want to eat, they want to go, they want to be where they want to be, and you have a leash on it.
Like at first, when they were telling us like how to walk with the goats, they're like, if the goat wants to go, just go with the goat. Okay?
Oh God, 6% contained on the fire, as Dawn said that they just started a new fire called the Kenneth Fire.
Jesus.
Super scary. Keep us updated, please. I've been watching Ken, who is our voice guy here on Lemonadio. Formerly, he used to be the voice guy on Pixie 103. And he is now our Lemonadio voice guy, and they are relocated to California, and him and Dawn do some of the stuff here on Lemonadio, but they're always checking in with us and keeping us up to date what's going on the West Coast. So thank you. And we're thinking of you all.
Absolutely.
Denise Cheryl, thanks for joining us on the show. So yeah, we put this thing together 2 years ago. We thought about it with one of our former workers, Lemonadio, Bobby, and we said, why not do the Nutcracker? But we're going to do it with goats and tutus, and we're going to call it the Goat Cracker.
So we did.
This was year 2 of the Goat Cracker. We've truncated it. We made it a little shorter, less crazy. And so I did it the first weekend. We did 4 performances of the Goat Cracker. It was fabulous. And so my husband was like, I can do this. Go on. You got that other party. I can do this. It's no big deal. He did his best. He's like, I feel like I did okay.
I feel like I did a good job.
But he was so nervous beforehand because I was like, oh, I thought you had this. Got it all set. Looked so easy.
Yeah.
Stephanie, you make things look so easy. It's not that easy.
No, we're just good at it.
Right?
Been doing it forever. It's like cooking. Like I've been cooking forever. I don't know what spices or how much to put in. I just put enough.
And you make it look good and it tastes good. So there you go. That's the spice. That's what we're good at. narrating things.
And now we add a pinch of salt.
Right? It's a little bit of alchemy. All the celebrities that are getting burned out are coming to stay
That's
where
crazy.
he is working. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Please give me the inside track of what's going on in that hotel. I could only
That's
imagine.
crazy.
Share the details. I know. I like a good little celebrity gossip story once in a while.
I mean, you do. Don't
I can't help
act
it.
like it.
I know it's invasive. I know it's rude, and I know it's mostly lies and slander, but I'm here for it once in a while. I'm just like, tell me.
Did it happen like that?
I can't help it. Oh, Billy Baldwin is out there. Okay.
I got nothing to say.
We'll talk later. Yep, exactly. All right. So what else have you been working on? Anything that you really want to get out that you have touched, thought about, moved into 2025, plans for the year?
I am writing after this show and after the class, I'm writing a thing called a poetrical. It is a poetry musical. And
since we create things that are random, thank you. This is dovetailing nicely from the goat cracker to poetrical.
Yeah, why not?
The theatrical poetry musical.
It is going to be a poetry musical. I'm not going to give away where it is. I'll tell you after.
How do you set out to write one of these things? You just one of those wake up in the middle of the nights and it's like, I got it.
Like I'm thinking about it now. Like I'm putting things together a little bit at a time while working on this show. So it's in the background of my mind. But once the show is done, I'm just going to sit down and it's already been in my brain. So I have a good idea of like how I want this to go, How
do you create something, do 2 performances and then leave it behind?
This show, I would love to tour. So these two performances we're going to put out and a way for people to come and see what we do. And we're looking into like theaters to put this a little bit longer and something that we can grow.
More substantial. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's like a little looky-see into something that something that will grow and have more shows.
Okay. Sure. I love it. And poetrical.
A poetry musical. I just thought I heard it in my brain. I've heard the whole thing.
Was it a tune or was it the lyrics first for you?
For me, it was the lyrics.
Yeah, the words.
Like, what does that mean? Like sometimes it just comes to me. I'm just like, what is okay? And just follow it. Okay. Even if you feel like this is weird, just follow it.
So when you're writing poetry, do you have beats behind it?
When I'm writing poetry, I can like hear how I want it to sound.
Okay.
So a lot of times,
like the tempo.
Yeah, I can hear the tempo more than the words sometimes. I'm just like, I want
because your flow is just incredible. You can read a script and people are thrown sometimes, but I've done radio for so long. Give me 30 seconds and I'll make that a commercial for you. It just happens.
So cool.
But you're like that with poetry where you're just like, you could read the words, but never would I think that those words are delivered the way you deliver them. It's just magic. It is poetry. It's rhythm.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's music.
Yeah, I'm a hip hop kid.
Yeah.
I'm from the world of hip hop and I'm so incredibly influenced by it. And I hear it all the time. And it's apparent in my poetry. And it feels good. Like sometimes you just hear something, and just that sounds good. Okay.
RTB never. He said, welcome to the Hotel California. Now that song will never be played on Lemonadio. I can't stand it. It's 20 minutes too long. I've heard it the maximum amount of times. I don't ever need to hear it again. But yes, probably that is the problem that is going on the West Coast right now. They're living in the Hotel California.
What's Hotel California?
It's a song.
Oh, what song?
And you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
I can never. Oh, no. I want to leave. Oh no.
Oh yeah. But it's just I'm good.
Just not interested.
No, I've heard it enough. It's one of those things at karaoke that you're like, no, don't sing it. You're like, I love it. Oh my God, Penelope's a fan. Too funny. We have got so many fun new trivia, music bingo nights. We are working on, since you're doing all of this poetry show, we've been inspired. We're having a 3-hour game night. It's called a Friday Night Social. We're going to be doing it every single Friday night over at Dino's. It's from 8 to 11. We're kicking it off with a Motown party.
Yes.
It starts next Friday. So it's going to be a little bit of dance and a little bit of games. So it's not just going to be like sit there and write down on the paper what your trivia is. It's going to be on the screens. So it's going to be happening if you want to pay attention to it, or you can absorb the music and have a good time. So it's definitely a Friday night game thing that we're going to be rolling in. If you feel inspired and want to get up and sing along with the tune, go right ahead. The microphones will be set up for you.
Oh, don't
you know what I mean?
That.
So it's not just like a forced this kind of night. It's going to be a Friday night social. Like, come and get social with whatever group of humans that you're with. And if you want to play games, do it. We'll have whatever game that we've got, whether it's Twister or Bago or whatever random thing. There are darts. Be careful. But I definitely am just encouraging people to move around, come and have a place to just be social with your people.
That's so dope. I love all the stuff that you do, man.
Thank you.
I feel like you don't get like enough. Thanks for all the stuff that you do.
I appreciate that.
Like, thank you so much for just having this space for like you're right. Just going. I love trivia, but sometimes going to trivia kind of boring.
You can't sit still. Exactly.
I am not. Have you seen this chair the whole time? Okay.
I'm really proud of you. She was like, we're going to have a studio like this. I said, but you're going to have a studio that's got standing desks so you can move around and do your thing because you need to move.
You need to move. So
yeah.
I love that you're having an event where like everyone can get a little, like if you want to sit, you can sit.
Yeah.
You can stand, you can stand. Like there's not a lot of spaces like
for
that.
me, inclusion is a big thing. It's been a space that I've been working in for a long time because I always felt bad for the people that were not included because whether they're neurodivergent or whether, they've got something else going on, they physically can't take a part of it. It's just really important to me to include all kinds of brain action in things because that's why inclusion works. It's building a better everything. I had this conversation with my husband about inclusivity yesterday. Thank you. And I said, that's why it's better when you're getting all these great ideas from the community because you build stronger. And I think it's a really hard conversations for some people that are like, it's always been this way. This is the way it should be. And this is the way it should be. And I'm like, that's why it's not getting better. You're wondering why things are on the decline because you're not growing and taking in the ideas, which is why we have this amazing farmers market in which we are building this volunteer program. And we want to empower our high school kids, our kids from the Boys and Girls Club, because we need new, fresh ideas. Because frankly, we're old. Our ideas are old. Our brains are not working at max capacity anymore. And you are growing up with technology in your hands that we never had. They're starting with the leg up.
Yes.
Way ahead of where we ever were in our brain capacity. So why not harness their place and let them take us to a new one? I don't understand why no one's looking at this right now. It's insane to me.
And that's why you're dope, man.
Thank you.
Because like, I feel like a lot of times there's gatekeepers, to be honest.
Yeah.
People who just have made a thing and then they have decided that this is their thing and no one else can enjoy this thing.
Correct.
But you have made a thing and you continue to open up this thing to everyone.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate that.
Well, it was years of being stifled, right? Terrestrial radio. You can say this. You can't say that. You can only be here. You can only do this. You can only promote this because they paid for it. You can only go there because they paid for it. We don't talk to them because they're from that group. And that group is against us because we're fighting for dollars. It was really, really, it was a mind numbing space to be in for 20 years of my career. Like, think about that with like the bumpers on me. You know me, right?
I do.
And I was always getting in trouble. That's why I put up that little sign. Women who behave well rarely make history.
That's right.
Because it's one of those spaces where I just can't believe that I put those blinders on for so long and was content to do that.
We've all done it.
And I don't know whether it was because I was in my mom era where I was just too busy with my own family and things and growing my family and growing humans to be out in the world that I was like, this is comfortable for me because I don't have to work so hard. I know what my job is. I go in, punch the time card, haha, funny laugh, leave, and then we're done here. You know what I mean? It was it's wild to me that so many of you grew up watching me or listening to me and being in that space and connecting with me when I was literally dead inside. It's like, I'm not kidding. It's like, I'm fine. Everything's okay.
I used to check for your laugh. Like I get in the car and I turn on the radio in the morning. I'm just like, okay, Stephanie Viva, I'm happy.
Right? I got the laugh. I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm here for the laughs.
And thank you for that. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Hotel California is a reggae played badly. I appreciate that. Cheryl, good morning. Good morning. Sunny Jameson said, speaking of poetry, T was in a production of Macbeth with me. She's not a huge fan of the Bard, alas, but she did do a fantastic job.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I am not. I call him Shake Shack. Okay. I do not like Shakespeare. I said it and I meant it.
But it's one of those things that you have to do. It's part of your education.
You have to.
You've got to learn the prose. You've got to learn from that what not to do going forward.
And like as a poet, I said metaphors. It's my job.
Yeah.
You know, when I read Shakespeare, I'm just like, just say cup.
Well, they had to fancy it up. Life was very basic back then. They didn't have any thoughts.
Or toilets, you know?
They had scurvy and they were trying to live. Their problems were a little different than where we're at right now. We've evolved.
Let's read it the longest way possible, okay? That guy is not doing okay in the corner.
Because that was their entertainment. Fork, knife, wife. Like they had very limited capacity.
What goes with wife? Knife. For wife, knife. Shakespeare would be proud.
So, right. It's a little different, which is why it's painful for us to ingest it at this point in life. But it's one of those things where, okay, we got to get this education because we got to learn what not to do anymore.
Exactly. Like it or not, I'm not a fan of Shakespeare, but I'm a better poet for reading Shakespeare. Oh
my gosh. Good morning, Miss Lauren. Speaking of someone that is just really fostering an amazing place, Lauren from Old Places. She's incredible. She made me do arts and crafts this year, and she knows I can't sit still and paint. I said, I'm here for comic relief. I might have a cocktail and watch you guys paint those things. But I ended up painting nutcrackers, and I ended up getting into it. So thank you very much. She threw me an 80s themed black light karaoke birthday party.
Dope. Congratulations.
Thank you. Birthday. It was very fun, and it connected all of our E4All friends. So I was just so excited to see the people that showed up, and we had a really good time. We sat, we talked, we painted, we did a little business, we sang some karaoke, we had some snacks, and we went home. It was delightful. Snacks. But she's also creating this amazing space. I'm gonna do stand up.
No, I would love it. I've been saying it forever. You're so funny.
I'm not.
You're so funny.
I'm not, though.
Yes, you are. You're so funny. I can't wait.
It's a different space. I'm so uncomfortable.
I want to buy
it.
tickets now. Where can I get tickets?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. It's an open mic night. So
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Hey, man in the computer right now, I need you to remove yourself from my computer. I know that you're typing for me, but when you're in my computer, I can't use my computer. So thank you. This is like Matrix around here.
I was just like, what? You know what? Just ride with it. Just ride with it. Okay.
Good morning, Miss Ashley. Love you too, T. I'm so proud of your new adventures. We're having an E4All play date at Old Places. Date TBD. Yes. So I will let you know when I'm going to get up there and do stand up for the first time. I've been sort of writing, but I've been sort of avoiding it. But it has been evolving a little bit. It's one of those things that I promised myself that I would do last year. I didn't do, and I'm definitely doing it this year.
I can't wait.
And Lauren created a date, put me in for it.
So it's there.
So it's there. And I have to do it.
You're so funny in conversation. And I know what you mean. Like, maybe you might not feel like funny, like to tell a joke.
Right.
I feel like you can have a conversation with yourself on stage, and that would be fun.
Yeah.
Because you are naturally funny.
I appreciate that.
Like, I can't wait for this show. And like, what makes you funny is, I think what makes you funny is that everyone can understand you.
Yeah, like I appreciate that.
Yeah, what you talk about, everyone has gone through.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
I should not eat milk, and I should not drink milk.
Here we are again.
But I'm gonna do it. But like, your topics are just universal.
Yeah, I think. Thank you for that, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a little my radio experience, my momming experience, and end with a funny mom story, because honestly, those humans have been my material for a very long time, and my littles have embraced it. The bigs hate our guts. We ruin their life.
The bigs,
right? The evolution of parenting, right? The evolution of getting better as a human. We got better as parents, and the bigs are going, what the hell? You ruined us. And now they get this? Unbelievable.
Yes, I have a little brother who has never got a spanking.
Right?
Never.
Yeah. It's just a different period of
different.
time. It's a different space in which we are.
Mhm.
I was younger, and now I'm older, and now I'm tired. And they get away with a hell of a lot more, and they know it.
And more patient. Like
Yes.
the older we get, the more patient we get. You
Yeah.
know? We're just like, you know what? Just please put that down.
Right?
Okay. Please put it down and go sit down. Instead of one more time, I'll burn the whole house down.
Yeah, right. January 28th, show up, supporters, 7:30, 125 Main Street, Buzzards Bay, $5. Oh my God.
I cannot wait. Say that date again. January 28th.
28th. Yep. All right.
We will be there.
Oh,
We will all be
God
there.
help me. God
Yes.
help me.
It's going to be so great.
Lauren, I appreciate you. T, one more time for your show, Poetry for My
Yes.
Brain Parts, before you wrap this thing up today.
Yes. Poetry for My Brain Parts will be playing at Cape Cod Community College Studio Theater February 8th at 7 p.m. and February 9th at 2 p.m. The tickets are $15 for students, $10 for $15 for general, $10 for students and staff, and $5 for vets and seniors. It is a fun event. It is 11 poems that I chose that tells my journey as a poet. It is a collaboration with Conspiracy of Noise, along with an artist out of Rhode Island who will be doing installation called Alana Khan, and it's going to be super fun. I've hit that again.
That's
Please
all right.
come join us.
That's emphasis on the situation. That was your crescendo.
Yeah. I love that word. Oh my God. Do you ever like hear a word? You just like, that's my word. for the
That's
day?
I like it. That's my word today. The last Tuesday of the month. It's official. All right, Miss. I will see you then. Have a great weekend, everybody. Whatever it is that you do. I hope you're safe. Have a good time. And we will see you Monday morning. We are talking to Katie Atchison from the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. She's got a water works situation. We've got a blue economy around here. We need to take care of it and foster some new ways on how to care for it.
I love your show.
It's so random.
It's so dope. It's so dope. I love this.
So join us on Monday morning. You want to support Lemonadio? We are officially a nonprofit. Our sister company, Lemonade, is doing exactly that. We're making lemonade for all of the Cape, and we appreciate you. You can find us online and support our endeavors like Community Connections, like the farmers market and Mashpee. We're talking to Born right now. So we're spreading our love everywhere, and we appreciate you coming along for the ride. Have a great one, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Go Yankees.
Oh, you're the worst.
I will die a Yankees fan.
I don't even think I can end the show now because he's in it. Now, what the hell? Oh my God, I can't. Bye.
Bye.